In the headlines, Senate amends Electoral Act to allow statutory delegates to vote in primaries. Buhari returns to Abuja after COP15 summit in Abidjan, pledges to meet afforestation targets. Marketers tell Nigerians to prepare for the worst as fuel scarcity persists. And on the foreign scene, Sri Lanka gives emergency powers to army, police after violence. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I'm Darshan Hussaina Usman. Now the news in detail. The Senate on Tuesday passed an amendment to the Electoral Act 2022 to allow statutory delegates participate in political parties, congresses and conventions. The Red Chamber amended the clause after considering a bill sponsored by Deputy Senate President Ovie Omo-Agege during plenary on Tuesday. The amendment will allow statutory delegates, in addition to the delegates elected by various political parties, vote during congresses and conventions to elect candidates for various political offices. Speaking after the bill was passed, Senate President Ahmed Lawan said the unintended clause had to be amended before commencement of party primaries. President Muhammadu Buhari is back in Abuja from Abidjan, where he attended the summit of heads of state and government at the 15th Conference of Parties at the United Nations Convention to combat desertification. According to the president, Nigeria had successfully forested over 6 million hectares of land through its Green Bond project. Kehinde Amodu reports.
Back in Abuja after 2 days of talks on advancing Great Green Wall objectives in Nigeria, President Buhari must be a satisfied man. Nigeria has been able to reel out achievements it has made to play its part in checking desertification on its lands. The United Nations, acknowledging the progress made, is giving conditions that must define its collaboration with member countries on this project.
If you permit me, I would say there's perhaps 4 or 5 issues that are important to this. The first is the importance of the governance structures at the local government where one wants to make the investments in each and every one of these countries. The second is a focus on land restoration, and land restoration that has a focus on the economic activities, the capacities particularly of young people and of our women at the community level to engage with these investments that will come to that level.
The target is to fulfill the nation's forest cover to 25% to fulfill a pledge made at the 74th session of the United Nations General Assembly in September 2019. This will require planting 25 million trees towards achieving restoration of degraded forest reserves and other landscapes nationwide. The Nigerian government hopes to partner with the World Bank and has expended enormous resources to establish agricultural development programs in all 36 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory.
I therefore call on you, especially the World Bank, African Development Bank, and the One Planet Summit Initiative to support this drive. So going forward, I kindly request your commitment to support this initiative. B, I also invite you collectively to set up a task team to work with PAGGW in this direction.
The message of this summit may be lost on many Nigerians who are fixated on their harsh economic realities, but the message goes beyond Nigeria's border and insists that the international community must demonstrate enough political will and commitment towards the realization of the pledge to restore 1 billion hectares of land by 2030. This will no doubt save humanity from starvation and preserve the planet for future generations. Kehinde Amodu, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has urged the World Bank, African Development Bank and other partners to support the One Planet Summit initiative activates the $19 billion US dollar pledge. He said the pledge meant for the activities of the Pan-African Great Green Wall Agency would be utilized for land restoration, tree planting, development of climate resilience infrastructure, and investment in small and medium-sized farms. The president's spokesman, Garba Shehu, in a statement on Monday in Abuja, said the president made the charge at a side event he convened at the ongoing UN Conference of Parties in Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire. The presidential aide noted that the meeting was President Buhari's first assignment at the PAGGW Conference of Heads of State and Government following his election to head the institution in December last year. Vice President Yemi Osibajo says his experience in the Buhari-led administration made him qualified to run for president in the 2023 general elections. The vice president spoke on Monday at the palace of the Emir of Gombe to seek royal blessings. Ibrahim Ismail reports.
The vice president, who was accompanied by Gombe State Governor Yahya, informed the Emir of Gombe, Shehu Abubakar, that he was in the state to meet and interact with delegates of the ruling All Progressives Congress APC.
Your Royal Highness, in that period of 7 years, I had the honor of serving under a transparent leader, President Muhammadu Buhari, one who exposed me very diligently to all that there is to know about governing a complex and a complex and very diverse country such as ours. So I believe that all of the experiences that God gave me during the period of that 7 years is important now, especially as our country now wishes to transit, to move from one administration to the other.
Responding, the Emir of Gombe reflected on the contributions of the Vice President to national development.
Your intervention in areas of economic policy, SME policy, ease of doing business, social investment, and many other areas have left lasting impact on our people. You have maintained a track record of excellent integrity as accomplished legal luminary, religious leader, and now a politician.
Earlier, Gombe State Governor Yahya said he believed that Vice President Osibajo has the capacity to deliver good governance to Nigerians.
Gombe is home to you, sir, for so many reasons. And looking at the dynamics and the place around, it is you that this cup fits squarely. Nobody can doubt that.
After his visit to the Emir of Gombe, the Vice President had a closed-door meeting with APC delegates at the banquet hall of the Gombe State Government House. From Gombe, Ibrahim Ismail, reporting for Trust TV.
And in politics, the Federal High Court of Abuja has restrained the People's Democratic Party, its national chairman, Dr. Iyorchia Ayu, from allowing Edo State representatives other than 571 ad hoc delegates selected at recent State Ward Congress vote at the forthcoming National Convention. Also affected by the restraining order are Senator Samuel Anyanwu, Umar Bature, and the Independent National Electoral Commission. The trial judge Inyang Ekwo issued the order following an ex parte motion filed by Monday Iyore Osagie and 4 others on behalf of the 571 ad hoc delegates elected at PDP ward congresses in the 192 wards of Edo State on April 30, 2022. Zamfara State chapter of the All Progressives Congress has commended the national leadership of the party under His Excellency Senator Abdullahi Adamu for resolving the crisis that rocked the party, causing division among members. A statement by Publicity Secretary of the APC in the state, Yusuf Idris, said this followed the signing of agreement between Governor Bello Muhammad and former Governor Abdulaziz Yari to ensure that all members remain together. It said with the signing of the APC has once again been reunited under one roof. The two leaders promised and agreed to work closely together for the benefit of the state and the good of the people of Zamfara State. The state chairman of the party, Tukur Umar Damfalani, thanked all the stakeholders that participated in the peace accord. He said that his leadership has been making efforts in bringing all splinter members into the party so that Zamfara State will continue to enjoy peaceful political, social, and a prosperous economic environment. The APC chairman urged people of the state to continue to pray for the well-being of the state. Still in politics, former President Goodluck Jonathan has rejected the nomination and expression of interest forms brought for him by a coalition of northern groups on Monday. In a statement, media advisor to the former president, Ikechukwu Eze, said Jonathan did not authorize the purchase and considers the move by the group an insult, adding that he is not aware of the bid. The statement further says Goodluck Jonathan is not a member of the APC, therefore he could not have accepted such a gesture from those behind the move and urged the public to disagree or disregard the action of the group. Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria says it did not and will not buy any form for any candidate contesting elections. The group, in a statement signed by its national secretary, Baba Othman Ngelzema, said it has nothing to do with the buying of a presidential nomination form for former President Goodluck Jonathan for the 2023 elections. According to him, politics should be left to politicians as they see no mileage in supporting any politician when they are overwhelmed by the crisis being faced by the members worldwide. MACBAN, however, said it will support a candidate that shows commitment to end the suffering of its members after the conclusion of party primaries by all the political parties. On security, residents of Agulu, Anaocha local government area in Anambra State have raised alarm over insecurity in the area. This followed the death of a resident of the community, Ms. Onyinye, who was the victim of a stray bullet during a recent gunfight between the army and unknown gunmen. The residents insist that setting up of a checkpoint at the heart of Ekulobia is wrong, as similar incidents have occurred in the past. You're watching Trust News Update. Coming up after the break, how Dhaba Festival can boost economy. Do stay with us. Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. Let's take a look at some of our top stories. We told you that Senate has amended Electoral Act to allow statutory delegates vote in primaries. We also heard that President Muhammadu Buhari has returned to Abuja after COP15 summit in Abidjan with a pledge to meet afforestation targets. Moving on to more news, as fuel scarcity persists in some parts of the country, marketers have told Nigerians to prepare for the worst. Speaking at a press conference, Chairman of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, Kano chapter, Bashir Malam, said the situation will get worse if the federal government fails to facilitate the payment of its members, amounting to over 500 billion naira. Malam said the failure of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority to pay its members the bridging claim, otherwise known as transportation claim, had forced many out of business. The chairman added that out of the 100%, only 5% of the marketers can supply petroleum products because of the failure of the agency to pay them. In education, Federal Capital Territory Administration has warned schools in the territory against collaborating with Parents Teachers Association to extort money from pupils and students through unapproved projects. The mandate's Secretary for FCTA Education Secretariat, Daher El Katuzu, issued the warning while inspecting school resumption at Government Secondary School Kubwa, Abuja. He said it was unlawful for schools to hide under special projects to impose heavy burdens on parents and guardians by collecting illegal fees. El Katuzu said that any school that violates the rules would be sanctioned, as FCTA had a standard that must be upheld in all schools. Students of the University of Ilorin have staged a protest calling on the federal government to yield to the demands of the striking Academic Staff Union of Universities. The protest, which was held in front of the university gate without hindering vehicular movement, followed the 3-month strike extension by ASU. Armed with placards, the students are particularly unhappy that the federal government have allowed the strike to continue unabated. They said they are tired of sitting at home and called on the government and ASU to come to an amicable resolution in the interest of the nation. The students threatened to shut down the country should the federal government and ASU refuse to resolve the issue by next week.
It is no longer a news that we are spending over 80 days at home. We are spending over 80 days at home, courtesy the lingering ASU strike. And that is why the leadership of the Students' Union University of Ilorin have sat back, consulted, and decided to stage a protest where we can inform the federal government and the respective ministers via social media to let them know that we are tired of staying at home. We have graduates that are tagged hanging graduates. They cannot graduate. And that is why we have decided that if we do today, next week federal government is meeting ASU's national executive. Let them come to a common ground next week. If they don't come next week, we will come back to the streets, and that time is going to be very tough.
Well, the effect has been enormous because apparently I've been at home. I've spent nothing less than 2 years in one level since 2020. I spent 2 years in 400 level. I'm spending another 2 years in 500 level again. And I've been paying rent. Even in this of these 4 years, I've been paying rent. I keep paying rent. I keep spending money as a student. And even the effect is beyond personal pain.
Dhaba is a traditional horse riding festival that depicts the cultural heritage of northern Nigeria. It is mostly performed during festivals like Eid al-Fitr, Eid al-Adha, or other special occasions by emirs. Correspondent Ibrahim Ismail examines the economic benefits of Dhaba and files in this report.
This is the Eid al-Fitr Dhaba at the palace of the Emir of Gombe. Horses are decorated with glaring outfits to amaze spectators. The horse riders, who are mostly traditional title holders, wear a special Hausa regalia.
The regalia of all the title holders with their horses makes it special. As you can see, everybody is in a different attire and is looking good, actually.
It's one of the best places where you can get this kind of celebration in Nigeria. And some people even name Gombe as the Dhaba center of Nigeria. We are not the ones that call it. It is people that are not even indigenous of Gombe. And sometimes you will see foreigners from far away from other part of the world. They normally come to Gombe and celebrate Salah to see our culture.
Dhaba attracts people from within and outside Gombe state for entertainment purposes. I'm Ali Ibrahim Gurama from Al-Kaleri local government area of Bauchi State. I always celebrate the Salah in Gombe to watch the Dhaba. May God shows the next festival. I wish everyone the best. Economic experts believe that Dhaba is a viable source of revenue that needs to be given special attention.
The Dhaba activity is a traditional festival, and it showcases the beauty of the culture, the tradition, and things like that. So if we can improve on this and market it, at least this can also help to improve. It can also help to improve source of income for the country at large. I think this will go a long way to improve our source of income outside oil.
The expert urged Nigerian government to brand Dhaba and make it a tourist attraction. From Gombe, Ibrahim Ismail reporting for Trust TV.
In business, the trade volume between the European Union and Nigeria in 2021 is at 28.7 billion euros. Samuela Isopi, the ambassador to the EU delegation to Nigeria and ECOWAS, disclosed this at the Europe Day celebration, which was held at the EU residence in Abuja. The theme of the 2022 Europe Day celebration is peace, cooperation and unity. The celebration holds every 9th of May after Robert Schuman Declaration, which launched the European projects. Isopi said that the EU as a bloc remained Nigeria's biggest trading partners, accounting for more than 20% of Nigerian trade with the world. According to her, the bloc is Nigeria's first partner in foreign direct investment, with EU companies contributing together with their Nigerian business partner to the country's economic growth, job creation and wealth generation. On the foreign scene, Sri Lanka has granted its military and police emergency powers to arrest people without warrants after a day of violence that killed 7 people and injured more than 200. The attacks also resulted in the resignation of Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa, an older brother to sitting President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. In a Gazette notification on Tuesday, the military can detain people for up to 24 hours before handing them to the police, while any private property can be searched by forces. As the Indian Ocean nation battles its worst economic crisis in history, thousands of protesters defied an island-wide curfew until 7 a.m. on Wednesday to continue protesting. Shortages of fuel, food and medicine brought thousands onto the streets in more than a month of protests that had been mostly peaceful until this week. And finally, in sports, Manchester City have reached an agreement to sign Norway striker Erling Haaland from Borussia Dortmund. Haaland will join in July after City activated a €60 million release clause in his contract. The deal ends the club's hunt for a successor to their all-time top scorer, Sergio Aguero, who joined Barcelona on a free transfer last summer. Haaland, who passed his City medical in Belgium on Monday, has scored 85 goals in 88 appearances for Dortmund since joining from Red Bull Salzburg in January 2020. The transfer would be one of the biggest of the summer. With this, we've come to the end of Trust News Update. Don't forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. I'm Dashan Husseina Usman. Thanks for watching.